Hi everybody, welcome back. Monday Morning Briefing, episode number 118. It's Friday, June the 7th. I apologize for not having one out last week. We just kind of hunkered down in here and have been working on patterns. I've got 3 pattern ideas that I'm working on, projects that I'm working on, designing, and that takes time in itself to get those actually designed properly. So we're working on those. I've made a couple prototypes of 2 of them, just trying to get the patterns lined out so that they work for you. And then we've got 2 that we've been shooting and making, and one of those is done, and that one posted just today. And so it is for our tortilla warmer. So you may have seen that on YouTube, that posted. If you're on our newsletter list, you were notified about this past weekend. We did open up pre-order to our newsletter list to go ahead and get their copy of the pattern pack. If they chose to, they could go ahead and get early access to that and reserve their copy. And we got them in yesterday afternoon late, and so those will go out. If you ordered on the pre-order, they are going out today. You should get those. We should be able to wrap them all up. Thank you to everybody that bought that pattern pack. That one seems to be really popular. My first run of these, the pre-order helps us because it helps us know how the demand's going to be on a particular pattern pack. And with this one, we were able to kind of gauge that, and so I changed the first run quantity on how many we ordered. So we're still got plenty, but like I said, we'll probably have to make a second run. I'll probably put that order in today just so that we get it. Since that video now is live, the patterns are live on the website. So if you want to get that and you're not on the newsletter, obviously there's links in the description of the video, the project video. And it's also on our website. But the tortilla warmer is really cool. This is just kind of a quirky idea I came up with. We have, like I talk about in the video, we have one of these at home that we've had for years. Honestly, it needs to be thrown away. All I do with it is tortillas. They just hold the tortillas in there. And I thought, man, it'd be pretty cool to do one of those out of leather. I don't know why I never came up with that idea before, but it works out great. I've made a couple of these now, probably 3 or 4 of them. For friends and stuff like that, and they're just fun. Whether you use it or whether you just use it as decoration in your house, they're just a lot of fun. There's a collection of tooling patterns in there. Obviously, it's just a 10-inch circle. You make one of these without the pattern pack, just cut you out a 10-inch circle 4 times, and then put you some kind of tab on here so that you can hang it up when you're not using it, and works pretty good. Again, like I say in the video, don't put this in the microwave. If y'all are familiar with these type of tortilla pouch warmers, they're the material ones, or the cloth ones, they're kind of designed to put your food in there and then put it in the microwave and heat them up right quick. I don't like doing that. I don't think the tortillas are near as good that way. So I heat them up on a griddle, and then we just put them in here to stay warm. But do not put leather in the microwave or your oven. Things get out of hand pretty quickly, and then your leather tortilla warmer that you put all that work into is ruined. So, but really cool, fun project. Thank y'all for everyone that got a copy of that pattern pack. I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think it's a fun gift. I think these things right here would be great gifts for people, like Christmas time. We're not even gonna start talking about Christmas. I'm just saying, for that kind of deal, Father's Day, you got a barbecue dad or barbecue grandpa or something, make one of these. And also just for your shop. Customers, I think, when they see this, it's something that they got to grab, because they're not, it's just too unique. It's kind of a unique, novel item. They're going to buy one of these or order one of these from you. The other project that I'm making a video for that should come out next week is one that has been requested a lot, but we've kind of, I don't know why we've drug our feet on doing those type of patterns, but we're working on starting to work some of those in there. I enjoy coming up with new stuff, but I do have a lot of these type of patterns that are in my pattern collection that I use daily, monthly, with what I do. And so I thought, let's start with that one. So if you're on Instagram and you're following us on our stories and things like that, you saw a little sneak peek of what that is. You know what it is. We'll talk more about it whenever it comes out next week. But we working on the pattern pack now and wrapping that video up and getting it going. But I also want to take this time to thank somebody who sent me a gift, really cool gift. I'm not going to name them on here, but they sent me a really nice letter and actually sent me the pattern and instructions and everything else to make this little item, and thank you very much for that, because it's really cool, and I love patterns. Obviously, we create them. I'm always looking at what other people are making and just kind of the creativity that people can come up with for different products. But this gentleman designed this little coin purse. Said he makes them mainly for gifts, hands them out to, you know, grandchildren, stuff like that. And they're really cool. It's made out of veg tan skirting leather. It'll hold, it's a change purse or a coin purse. It'll hold quite a bit of change in there. I mean, a lot, or just whatever you want to put in there. And then when you need something, you just pour it out. I thought this thing was just kind of a genius little idea. It's just kind of cool. It's got a lot of room for artwork, so you could tool this. Just kind of a cool idea. So I want to thank him for sending that to me. Sent us with a really nice letter, and keep watching the videos. I really appreciate it, and thank you very much for this. It will go on our collection of stuff that people have sent us, with little keepsakes. I keep telling Claudia we need to build some type of shelving up high where we can put all this stuff on display. I've got a lot of it out there on the retail floor, but I don't have room for everything. I'm gonna have to build a special shelf for some of that stuff, just because I think it's cool when people come in to see what other craftsmen are doing as well. I've got some pieces that other craftsmen have given me that I know, you know, on a work level and stuff, and that have made something and gave it to me. And so I want to put all that stuff on display. Some of it I use, but most of it I just want to have out there as a keepsake. So as you can see here, we are shooting this video, this Monday briefing, on a brand new bench. If you were in Sheridan at the show, you got to see this bench in our booth. You may not have noticed it, but it was a bench there in our booth space with Joe Melling and Aaron Heiser with Maker's Leather Supply. And we all three worked on this bench making the Pony Express satchel that he makes. And we made that satchel, made 2 of those satchels, and they gave them away as door prizes at the show. And I had this bench built, a friend of mine that built our big 4x4 table in here and stuff. We kind of commissioned him. I said, I need a bench that's on casters. From now on, all of my benches will be on casters unless they're built-in type benches. But I said I need it on casters, and I need it to be able to go with me to shows and things like that. Well, by the time I designed what I wanted, and him and I went back and forth, and he's a craftsman, he's a carpenter. By the time we got it finished, it's a little too heavy to travel with what we're traveling with now and stuff like that, and it's a little too large. So what I decided to do was bring it in here and try it in here, because I need another work table by my workstation, and this bench is perfect for right here. And so now it's going to pretty much stay in here. I can move it around if we do something in here. We've got more people in here. We can move it around as we need to. I can sweep underneath it. It's got all of my stuff in here, and we're going to build another bench that's going to be smaller, probably I'd say 70% this size as far as the dimensions. Maybe a little bit smaller, but it'll be smaller than this, and that'll be the bench we take to shows for our classes. That was my intentions originally, just trying to come up with that. But I tend to overbuild stuff all the time, and he's a carpenter. He's gonna make sure it's stout, and it'll take the abuse of travel and things like that. And so hopefully we can make one that's, you know, just as functional, but just a little bit smaller and lighter. But this one here is perfect now. This is our new work table / tooling table. It's got a rock in here that we can tool on. The top of it is a cutting board material, the same thing that's on all my other benches. So you can pretty much cut anywhere on this bench, and you don't have to worry about hitting nails. You don't have to worry about dulling your knife or anything like that. It's a cutting surface. And I'm gonna do a drawer here where all of this tooling stuff can sit in that drawer, to where when I'm gonna work on here, roll a piece of leather out to cut a project out on a video or just for myself, I can shut that door and all my tooling stuff's away. You're not knocking stuff off the table, because that's usually the biggest fight, especially when you get a saddle seat up here or even a fender. You kind of fight knocking stuff off of the table, and I think it's just a really cool shooting location. Trying to get an area where, you know, when we're doing a project, we're not bouncing around all over the shop, and that way the videos, we can tighten them up a little bit and you can see better. That's another main thing here, is the lighting is so much better right here versus where I was basically just right there. And so now we're going to be here. But that's my new bench. It's really cool. It's 34.5 inches wide by, I think, a little over 6 foot or so. I don't have a tape with me, but it's got spots over here for just storage and things like that. I've got shelving in there. I'll add some drawers as I need to, and then we'll, you know, keep everything in one location. And like I said, if I want to rearrange the shop, I've only got in here right now that my big layout table is still not on casters. But honestly, that table was built, I probably built that table 18 years ago, probably 15 years ago, and it's probably time to retire it, or at least revamp it or rework it. because it's been around. It's looking kind of shabby. It probably needs some support, repair and stuff. And so we may just rework that table, put it on casters, that way we can move it around. But I will say, if you're building benches for your shop, especially if you're like me and you're limited on space, I know it looks like I have a lot of space, but when you start getting machines and extra tables and room for people to move around, it tightens up really quick. I think the 4x4 table, or even a 2x4 or 2x8. 2x8 seems a little long and narrow, like maybe wobbly, not as stable. So I like the 4x4. They're still large. They still take up space, and you're not going to fit them through a regular door. The only way we were able to get these in here is because I've got a set of French doors here that open up completely, makes it nice. But I think those are probably the better option, because you can kind of configure those a little differently so that you have a little more room in your shop to roam around and move stuff. And if you're working on a certain thing, you can set the tables up a certain way. And you can put them together, and you got a 4x8 cut table. As far as everything else, the kids are working on some projects. They really got fired up when we got back from Sheridan because of the debut, and getting to enter in their piece and throw their hat in the ring. They're really excited about that. They were already thinking about their projects for next year, and so they asked, can we start them now? And I said, well, what we're going to do is, just like we all need to do, is we need to practice. So the way we practice in leathercraft is building projects. So we just need to make stuff. We don't need to wait until we're good at it or proficient or perfect at it. We just need to make projects. We don't have to make necessarily projects to sell or try to market. What we need to do is just get to making stuff. If you make a knife sheath for somebody, note your mistakes, note what you learned and what was hard, what you still need to work on, and then if you want, you can give that away. But make stuff. That's what I tell them, is we just need to start making things. They're not all going to be products that you can sell, but they'll be great projects that you can give to your friends or family or whatever you want to do. So they've been doing that. They've been in the middle of swim right now, swim meets and stuff like that. They got on a swim team, and so they're doing that first part of the summer. So that won't last very long, and then we'll be back into play day season and stuff like that. Will begin in the I think it starts in August or so, somewhere around there. But we've got cow shows through the summer, so they're very busy. They're in and out of the shop. But like I said, today they'll be in here after swim today, and we've got a lot of orders we're going to get out for that pre-order for the tortilla warmer, and work on some other stuff and get going this weekend on the rest of our projects. We've got a cow show next weekend, so we'll be busy with that. I've got 2 saddles going here. I'm going to get horns wrapped today. We've got the horns prepped and ready to go for the wrap on them, and so we'll go ahead and get those on there, and we'll start cutting other parts. A lot of people have been calling and asking about us being out of our main material packs for gunslings and belt material packs in particular. Also our guitar straps. We are waiting to get our leather in here. We've pretty much just been focused on some other things here in the shop as far as development and pattern and stuff like that. And so I need to get the leather in here. Once we get it in here, we will get those refilled. Unfortunately, right now I'm out of most of my 9-10 ounce leather. I do have some 3-4 and some saddle skirting, obviously, for what I'm doing here on the saddles. But hopefully we'll get that leather in here pretty quick, and we'll be able to get those refilled. So just sorry that we're running low on those, but sometimes that happens, and we've got to focus our attention. It's only just me and Claudia in here, so even if it was here, I don't have time right at the moment to cut just a ton of stuff. So with what we've got going on, so we'll try to get that refilled as soon as possible, and we will send out a newsletter to let everybody know that those are refilled and ready to go. So those of y'all that are on the newsletter are already aware of it, but if you're not, the Waco show, the Heart of Texas Leather Show in Waco in August, they posted the workshops for that show, and so they have been open, so you can go to the website and you can check out what workshops are available. I think Cheryl said they have over 40 workshops this year at Waco. I think that's about average, but I think they've got almost 45, which may be a little more than they usually have. But all the workshops are posted, so you can go to Leathercrafters, and I think it's just Leathercrafters Journal. I know it as Leathercrafters and Saddlers Journal, but I think they shortened it up to just Leathercrafters Journal, which kind of includes everybody. But anyway, go to Leathercrafters Journal website and hit the Heart of Texas Leather Show under events, and you can go there and look at all the workshops that are available. We're teaching 3 classes at Waco this year. I'm teaching a beginner's floral class, which I'm going to change. It's the same class that we've been teaching this past season, but I'm changing it to focus more on fundamentals. So it's going to be a very fundamental class, just working on literally beginner type stuff. I think as I learn to teach the different levels of some of these classes, I'm learning where I need to focus on in the deal. So like I always tell y'all in my classes, I learn more from you guys than y'all are learning from me for sure, because I'm learning how things need to be explained so that it clicks and so that you understand it, and everybody learns different. So, but we're doing that. Beginner's Floral will do the advanced depth and realism class. It will be different too. So if you were in Prescott or Sheridan or Waco last year and you're taking that class, then don't worry, it's going to be different. We're going to do a different pattern. We're going to do some different stuff in there as well. And then I'm adding a new class that we're doing that's going to be the Western guitar strap. So we've had that pattern and that video out for a couple of years now, I think. It's very popular and nobody was doing a guitar strap at the workshops, and I wanted to do an intermediate to advanced tooling class that could also incorporate edge work, maybe some sewing if you decide to line your guitar strap, assembly, finish techniques like antiquing or dyed background, those kind of things. Maybe some geometric tooling if we wanted to do a little floral geometric combo. I wanted a class like that I could kind of allow people to kind of move in whatever direction they want to focus on, where it's not just tooling a panel that we really can't do anything with when we're done with the class. So that's my first stab at it. We're gonna do the Western style guitar strap. It'll come with, I think we only allowed 10 people in that class, and all 3 of my classes are unfortunately already full. So I apologize for that. We did send a newsletter out, and so those people had it like a heads up on it. So if you've already gone there and seen that we're full, I apologize for that. But you will have other opportunities in Prescott and Sheridan next year. I will teach the same classes there. May add an extra one in, just kind of depends on what's going on. But those 3 will be 3 that we teach next year as of right now. And then we might try to do something outside of that show as well, or any of those shows throughout the year. We're still working on that as far as time and family time in the summer. Everybody's busy, so trying to work on that, maybe get 1 or 2 of those in before then. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool class. Thank y'all for everybody that signed up for my classes. We really appreciate that. It's kind of overwhelming how fast they fill up. And again, I apologize if you weren't able to get in there. But there's so many other workshops there. Joe Melling's coming down. He's teaching a bunch of classes. Get in one of his. I had my kids do his decorative swivel knife class, and I'm serious. They're already carving way better, and I think that helps because it's somebody else besides Dad trying to teach them. Sometimes Dad's voice goes in one ear out the other and they don't listen, and so somebody else, sometimes that's very helpful just because they pay a little bit more attention to that. But they're doing really well. But yeah, take one of his classes. He's teaching I think 3 or 4 classes. There's so many. Yoni will be there. There's a lot of classes on there. Chris Andre will be there teaching some classes. There's sewing machine classes. There's bell knife class. There's project classes, embossing classes. There's all kinds of things. So if you're going to Waco, or if you're near there and haven't heard about the Waco show, the Heart of Texas Leather Show, just go online and search Heart of Texas Leather Show, Leather Trade Show, or go to the Leather Crafters Journal website, and you can find out all the information, the dates, all of that stuff. So the trade show will be Friday and Saturday. The classes or workshops will open on Tuesday, and they'll go through Saturday. So it's a full week of just leathercraft. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great people. If you've never been to a show and you're in Texas, that's going to be your closest one, other than Wichita Falls. And Wichita Falls will be coming up in October, and so you can certainly find out information about that as well, and kind of go from there. But yeah, we're getting excited about Waco. Like I said, I know we just got back from Sheridan, so we are not really thinking about it too much outside of just kind of what we're going to be teaching. But as far as the booth and things like that, we'll have a booth. We'll do some stuff. We're going to be doing some cool projects. That's about it, guys. Like I said, I apologize. Last week we didn't have one. Just been working on creating patterns and videos, which is what we need to be doing as far as for you guys for new patterns and things. We have a full supply of patterns on our website, so if you just found us here on YouTube, be sure to go to dgsaddlery.com. First, sign up for the Leathercraft newsletter. That way you don't miss out on any new thing that's going on or where we might be or anything that we may offer in the future, and just to stay connected with us. And also, there's tons of information on there. You can go to our blog. There's tons of videos and articles and things on leathercraft, whether you're just starting or you've been doing it and you're just looking for something different to work on. We've also got a ton of patterns, both digital and printed on there. And remember, on the printed patterns, those are the ones that we mail out to you. And so any of our large format prints, like the Tortilla warmer, this is a 10-inch circle. It's not gonna fit on 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And so buy the printed version if you're in the US. You may save a little bit on shipping. You may save a little bit on the price of the pattern by buying the digital, but you will have to get in your vehicle and drive around town and find a printing company that won't charge you $50 to print that off. You can see the price difference on our digital versus the printed for the same pattern. That's what we're spending on printing. So don't let somebody charge you $30 to print that thing. Just buy the printed and we'll mail it to you. 2-3 days, it should be out to you, unless we're back ordered on them. We do allow back orders on our printed pattern packs. So if you order and it's on back order, we usually will have them in 3 days, maybe 4 days, but usually once I send her an email, she knocks them out and gets them to us and deliver them right here to the shop. So if we are back ordered, it may just take a few days and then we'll have them out to you. So, but I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a great weekend and go build something in your shop. We'll see you next week in the Monday morning briefing.